Good morning, my dear students. We were discussing chapter 5. Last day, we were discussing the types of pronoun. We discussed till demonstrative pronoun. The rest of the types of pronoun we will see today. We will start with the reflexive pronoun. Before that, we will see which all are the types of pronouns. Types of pronouns: personal pronouns, possessive pronouns, demonstrative pronouns, interrogative pronouns, emphatic pronouns, reflexive pronouns, and relative pronouns. Last day, we already saw personal pronouns, possessive pronouns, and demonstrative pronouns. Today, we will see the rest of the four. First of all, what is a reflexive pronoun? The reflexive pronoun adds information by pointing back to a noun or another pronoun. The reflexive pronouns are myself, yourself, herself, himself, itself, ourselves, yourselves, and themselves. A reflexive pronoun is used when something does something to itself. For example, John pinched himself. He did that act to himself. So here, this reflective pronoun himself is pointing back to the noun John. The reflective pronoun himself tells us that John did something to John. He did something to himself. For the better understanding, compare the example above with this. John pinched his sister. There is no reflexive pronoun in this example. John did something to someone else, not to himself. So, in situations where we want to point back to the same noun, then we will use reflexive pronouns. See this example, you can easily understand. We checked ourselves for lice. The ourselves, it is a reflexive pronoun and it is reflecting back to the noun we. There, the we is the antecedent of ourselves. What is meant by antecedent? The noun that is replaced by a pronoun is referred to as the antecedent. That definition is already given in our textbook. Here, the noun which is replaced by a pronoun is referred to as antecedent. Here, in this case, we is the antecedent of ourselves. Look into the second example. While calling on the gods, a man should himself lend a hand. Here, himself is the reflexive pronoun and it is reflecting back to the noun a man. So here, a man is the antecedent of himself, the reflexive pronoun. The next type of pronoun is interrogative pronouns. An interrogative pronoun is used to ask questions. The main interrogative pronouns are what, which, who, whom, and whose. The other less common interrogative pronouns are the same as the one above but with the suffix ever or soever. Example, whatever, whichever, whatsoever, and whichsoever. These interrogative pronouns are not in common. Whatever and whichever we use regularly, but the rest of the two we are not using that commonly. So here, look into the example. The interrogative pronouns are used to ask questions. The first one, who, for people, used as the subject of a verb. The second one, whom, for people, used as the object of a verb or preposition. Third one, whose, for people, used for possession. Fourth one, what, for people, used for animals and things. What is that? What do you mean? Like that. The last one, which, for people, used for people, animals, and things. Which is smarter, which is faster, etc. Look into these examples of interrogative pronouns. What is that? Which is yours? Who done it? Whom shall we ask? Whose is this? Whatever did you say? Whomever did you find? Whosoever is this. The next type of pronoun is indefinite pronouns. Indefinite pronouns refer to persons, places, or things without specifying for certain which one. We will not specifically say which one or which person, which place or which thing it is, without specifying for certain one. Examples: everybody, anybody, somebody, all, each, every, some, none, and one. The most common ones are all, any, anyone, anything, each, everybody, everyone, everything, few, many, nobody, none, one, several, some, somebody, and someone. These all indefinite pronouns are not specifically pointing to one noun or pronoun. Without specifying for certain one, they are talking about persons, places, or things. See these examples of indefinite pronouns. A classic is something that everybody wants to have a read and nobody wants to read. Here we found three indefinite pronouns: something, everybody, and nobody. The second example: of those who say nothing, few are silent. The definition of indefinite pronoun: a pronoun that refers to a person or a thing without being specific. Okay, examples: I have eaten everything in my fridge. I have nothing for breakfast. I need to find something. Anything would be okay. Like this, if you want to talk without specifying anything or any person, we can use indefinite pronouns. The seventh type of pronoun is relative pronouns. Relative pronouns come after noun to point out to them or to give more information about them. Relative pronoun often introduce a relative clause in a sentence. The relative pronouns are that, which, who, whom, and whose. Here are some examples. That, the dog that stole the pie is back. So here, with that relative pronoun that, it is giving little more information about the subject, dog. Second one, which. My new dog, which I bought last year, loves green beans. By this relative pronoun which, it is giving little more information about the subject. Third one, who. The person who bought his car found a 3-carat diamond under the seat. Here with the relative pronoun who, we are getting little more additional information about the subject. It is same for all the relative pronouns. The relative pronouns are that, which, who, whom, and whose. Look into this example. The dog that ate the cake is looking guilty. Here relative pronoun that is giving more information about that subject, the dog. And it is an adjective clause. That ate the cake. That's why it is said a relative pronoun is a pronoun that heads an adjective clause. Look into these examples. The man who stole your bike has been caught. So here who is the relative pronoun and it is adding little more information to the noun, the man. The last example, his car, which is 2 years old, broke down again. Here the which, the relative pronoun, is giving additional information about the subject.